to his penis.
You're fat and you talk more.
That was him. Joseph Von Garble. Wait. Uh-oh. Wait. Hold on. You ever crank your hard?
Get that cat out of here.
I eat cock.
Yep, sounds like he turned on me. Hello? He's next Calhoun.
I don't care. Ooh. Whap, whap, whap. That's wet ass pussy.
I had a small penis. I'm a cum pig.
Fuck you, Mike Morse. Fuck off, you useless, untalented piece of shit.
How are you, penis? I haven't seen you in a while.
Penis is 100% right.
I appreciate penis wrinkle.
Hey, penis.
What I love about penis wrinkle.
Because I'm going to show you those DMs. This is content. Fuck you, pay me. I had a small penis? I'm a cum pig. Go! The frog. Katie's wiener is yummy. Mike destroyed my mom's box. I need a big dick. It's almost incomprehensible for a man of my intelligence to ingest. What?
Shuli's Jewish. He can't help it. And I don't mean that as a joke.
I love you, Bob. Buenos dias, Juan El Condimenta Amanda. I don't know. Wow, producer Joe, you know good guy. You know good guy.
Joe, producer Joe?
Nice, come on. Let's watch the dues pay you. Mike Huntsmell. Yes. I never had a desire to go into the middle. Joseph Von Garble. Wait. Uh-oh. Wait. Hold on.
You're fat and you talk like a moron.
DabblePoint. A Stuttering John Melendez roundtable discussion.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all to our weekly edition of Point DabblePoint, a roundtable of the week regarding the stupidity that is one John Melendez. Joining me, as always, the anchor in the sea of the Dabbleverse. You know him. Whoarethese.com. Who are these podcasts? Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Karl. Karl?
Shuli, always an honor to be speaking Stutjo with you, my friend.
You know what? It's always an honor for this guy, please. But to make it even a more honorable experience, let's put our hands together for the one and only Trucker Andy, my man.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, Shuli. They call me an anchor too, but more for dragging things down.
That's true. Albatross anchor.
Gentlemen, it's safe to say the last few weeks have not been great in the world of Stuttering John. As far as content, as far as stories, as far as, roundtable discussion topics, well, he made up for it this week, that's for sure, because we got a lot to get into. First thing I want to tackle is John's begging for $200 this week, forgetting that he hired a cleaning woman to come and clean his 500 square foot apartment, his spider hole, some have called, like Saddam Hussein, and then tries to grift. This guy who accuses everybody of grifting tries to cheat the audience out of $200 by asking people to send him $200 and he will flip the camera around, as he says.
Props to all the Dabble maniacs out there who did not fall for that, did not take the bait. Because even if you didn't know that he got it cleaned, he's up to something. Yeah. And it's like, John, we've seen most of the place because you forgot you tripped and knocked your computer over that one time when we saw that whole one side where your bedroom is.
Yeah.
Like we can pretty much figure out what the layout is at this place. We get it.
Oh, you got a second green screen? You flip it over and it's just somebody else's man.
That's a good idea. Actually. He would never do that.
Well, and I was watching WATP, and I didn't know this, but apparently the price changed for
So the cleaning lady said, 500 square foot apartment. She quotes $150.
Yeah,
I think 2 people go in there, spend 20 minutes, get out. $150. And when they got there, it changed to $300. It doubled in price when they saw how gross his place is.
We both have to go get hazmat suits.
Yeah, could you imagine just scraping the snot off the coffee table? It's got to take an hour and a half.
But it's insane to me that it's a 500 square foot space. Like, you can't even get 3 people in there.
Right.
2, you're pushing it. And the price went from $150 to $300. They're seeing some shit, literally seeing some shit.
I have an SUV. It's about the same size as John's place. And it takes me about, 5 minutes to clean the interior, vacuum it out, wipe it down. Well,
and yet another thing that he's hiring out for someone else to clean. Something that he had no problem messing up.
Hold on, though. He has OCD.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want him to do, Shuli?
Right.
We're
have to clean everything 5 times.
No, not that type of OCD. No, you're wrong about that, Ed. It's the other kind where he can't possibly lift a finger and clean shit up.
He's the only guy that when he's cleaning something, you go, he's either selling it or a court appearance. You know what I mean? It's never it's just John cleaning.
I remember back to big celebrity, his best buddy, Hal Sparks, driving 5 hours from Vegas to come to his place in Canoga Park to show him how to plug in an Ethernet cable. This was a couple of years ago.
That's right.
And John couldn't lift a finger to make his fucking bed. Hal Sparks came back on his show later and just goes, I told John, you got to do something. You're going to bring a woman back to this place? You got to do something, man. This looks horrible. There wasn't even a bed sheet on the bed. It was so disgusting. He's like, you couldn't clean up for Hal Sparks?
And he's sitting there laughing. Like Richard Ojeda told the story about how filthy his car was. Yeah. And John had tears running down his face. It was hilarious to him.
So proud of himself. It's insane.
I was happy. And then the reveal when Quadfather comes on and he's like, we all heard you talking to the cleaning woman. And then all of a sudden he's like, no, I know. He's like, yeah.
He goes, oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. No, I know. I did that part. He always doesn't change it. Like this huge reveal today, which I'm sure we're going to get all into.
Yeah.
Was so fascinating to watch his thought process go from, I'm going to get Bob on my show. I'll pay him more than the shitwayer pays him. I'm going to win this to, I'm glad he's still on the Shuli Network. That's good for me. Like he actually turns that around in his brain, a 180 over the course of like 20 minutes. It's incredible.
Wow.
When Bob pitched this idea, right, which was that morning, okay, we didn't have this plan at the beginning of the week. At the beginning of the week, I announced Bob's out. He's taking care of Gina. He's taking some time off. He's off for the week. Maybe might be back Thursday. We'll see, right?
Yeah.
And from that, people just refused to believe it. And John and KB were leading that charge. They were like, this is the end. I told you. I saw this coming. And then when Bob pitched it to me, I go, you know what, Bob? It's going to be great because the minute you do this show this afternoon, Kevin's going to want you back. John's going to want you on the show. Meanwhile, it just shows the hypocrisy of it all, which is as long as he's here, he's not funny. He's a piece of shit. He sucks on the air. The minute it's not even about leaving here. The minute he has something to say about leaving here or about me or the operation, now everybody wants him. Now everybody respects him. And it's all just a bunch of fucking phonies. And that was the whole point when he pitched it to me. And I'm like, this is brilliant. This is brilliant.
It couldn't have gone better.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. I mean, there's a number of reasons, but my favorite part of this, something I've been focusing on a lot lately with John, is his personality disorder.
Yeah.
He's a narcissist. And one of the things I've been studying narcissism a lot lately, and one of the things they have are these crazy revenge fantasies. And John's constantly has these childlike fantasies that he likes to act out or explain to you. And what happened from this with Bob, Levy, and Shuli, John decides he knows the entire conversation going on behind the scenes, down to details of dollar amounts. Where Shuli's going, listen, I can only pay you $1,000. And Bob's like, I'm worth more than that. And then Shuli's going, it's my network. My name's on it, the network, bitch. And he's got the whole conversation figured out and what they're negotiating over.
Yeah.
We don't have the clip ready, but we do have a reenactment photo that Luigi Greenberg put together for us of exactly what you're talking about. And it's funny you bring it up because I'm adding a new John to the the library of Johns, right? We have Smug John.
There
John,
it is. There's Horny John. Oh, yeah, this is it. Playing with his action figures.
This is my new entry. It is called I Cannot Wait John. And that is the John that has these fantasy scenarios about Melton being arrested.
I was just going to say that. We just had an episode we did with Patrick Melton this week on WATP where John's going, if Patrick Melton stepped foot in Manhattan and Kate Meanie knows about it, he will be arrested on sight. And John goes, and I can't wait to see that fat fuck with his handcuffs on, as if they're going to be filming this for TMZ or something. You mean you can't wait to see that?
The FBI is waiting for him to get off a plane.
But the other thing that John's been saying lately, and I really want to analyze this and dissect it, because when he was saying that it's actually better that Bob's still on the Shuli Network, because that means he's not making as much money as he would be making, and that's better for me. And he thought it would make his life better if Patrick Melton got arrested. How? This is the thing that I really want to understand. He's so childlike.
Yeah.
He thinks that if something bad happens to his enemies, that's good for him.
Yeah.
In
Everybody
what
that
way?
likes NLO is going, now that they can't watch it because Patrick's arrested,
Yeah.
they're just going to roll right over to the Stuttering John show, right?
What am I doing with the super chat budget I have for the month? I guess I got to give it to John.
Yeah. I'm going to give it to this thing that I actively hate instead of something that I used to enjoy.
Is that what he thinks, though? Does he think that if something goes away that he gets more of it? Because you still have to put out an entertaining product.
I'll tell you what it is. In my opinion, I think it's the fact that he knows he can't battle these people on the same playing field.
Does he know that, though? I don't think he does, but go ahead.
I think he does, because that's why he's so quick to go to ruining people's lives. Right. That's the only way he can defeat this person that's busting his balls. Already saying, you use that in your act? Turns around and goes, why don't you stab yourself again? Why don't you drink more bleach? Like that, that's a guy who knows I can't fuck with it. It's the guy who you're fucking around with and he takes it too seriously and wants to fight, right? Except he's a pussy. He doesn't want to fight. So he's going to say, I'll post pictures of your wife, or I'll do this. I'll tell you, I know where your kids go to school, Kevin, all this shit.
But don't you think that in his wet brain, that is him winning? See, this is my theory on it. He doesn't know how to roast. He has no clue. I remember going back a couple of years ago, Vinny Paulino reached out to him, this before the whole debacle with Carlson, and says, hey, come on the creep off. we won't invite Karl, and you and I can both pick Karl as our creep, and we'll just rip on him for the whole time. Like, that was Vinny's idea. And he was telling me this after the fact. And I go, Vinny, you don't understand John. He's not a comic.
Right.
He doesn't have those instincts. He doesn't know how to go on a show and bust balls and, come up with 5 funny takes about someone and rip on them.
No.
He has no clue.
Yeah.
He'd rather just talk about mom wives and sisters who don't talk to the family as much. And it's like, what is this content? Who is this entertaining for?
It's like that episode of The Simpsons where they're telling Homer to envision how he's going to beat Jedrick Tatum. And he's just like, oh, Jedrick Tatum suffers a massive heart attack in the ring. That's how John thinks he's going to beat Melton in the ratings. He's super chat.
Great example.
But if you even go back to the Stern Show, right? Even when he was in there busting balls, what was his ball busting? Really break it down. Look at Gary's lips. Look at Gary's teeth.
Well,
It wasn't.
that was
it
all
wasn't-
repeated from Howard.
Of
All the
course.
stuff that he heard Howard say, and then he would jump on that.
But fast forward to present day John putting up a picture of somebody's wife and going, look at those eyes. Look at that nose.
Right.
Like he's trying to transfer that into this. He can't do it. So he's like, oh, you know what? I'll just say your address. How about that? That's my comeback.
But actually, going back to your example, though, of Howard Stern ball busting,
Yeah.
John would weaponize any piece of information he knew.
Yep.
So Gary Delabate is now the assistant baseball coach for
Yep.
Little League for his son's Little League team. John's going to go in there and be like, guess what Gary was doing this weekend? Teaching the kids how to field a grounder.
Right.
And then they're, let's rip on Gary for being a good father. But in John's mind, any information he can hand to someone who's funny, who can turn it into jokes, and that's how he weaponizes shit. Now he's got no one. So now he just thinks like, I have the information and my job is done.
Yeah.
Well, and also that was his way to get in the studio. He wasn't
Right.
producing a bit. He wasn't, discovering people like he claims he has his whole career. Thanks for calling. Hold on. I discovered him. That's not discovering.
Right.
it.
And then when he tried to do a bit like the Grillo audition thing, it completely backfires on him.
Yeah.
And it turns out Howard going, John, you got to get approval from us. We got to write your bits for you. You can't do this on your own. You suck at this.
It became a great bit because he sucked at the bit.
Right. Yeah. It's because it turned on him.
Yeah.
Correct.
So yeah, the whole watching him, we almost pushed our show back. We almost wanted to let him do an entire show, but then I was like, we gotta get his reaction of Bob coming in. We asked Joey to record that little thing that we played before where he couldn't hear us, and then Bob again, he's like, I'm gonna change my background because I'm gonna move my mic out of the way, and his mic arm is so loud and rusty, and he goes, and I'll just put my mic arm in, and you can see Quadfather's face. As soon as he hears the mic arm, he starts laughing. He knows who's coming.
Yep.
And John's face, I can't wait. We're going to watch the package tonight on Rico. I cannot wait to zoom in on that punum and see the look on his face. It's great.
So awesome.
One of the best moments of all time in the Dabbleverse. Congratulations, guys. It's right up there with the Chad Zumach fake Venmo.
It's good
It's
when
still
Karl,
fucking with him to this day.
it's good when Carl's texting me off air going, is everything good, man?
Well, that was one of the fun. Just going back to the very beginning, where Shuli was very upfront about everything that's going on. He's just like, Bob's got something he's got to take care of, and all of the Shuli anonymous people are just like, well, if Shuli's saying it's got to be wrong. It's like my QAnon uncle watching CNN. It's like, well, if they're saying it, there's no way it's true.
They're reporting Joe Biden's still alive? Definitely not. Body double, body double.
Right. So just Shuli saying the truth, like, sets everything up.
It's wild.
So ridiculous.
Because I was telling Bob, I'm like, we're not fucking with our fans. Our fans know that what's going on. This is just for all the people that want it to be so real and so true. And so it worked exactly like he said it would. It's amazing.
And if Dummy had just waited an hour, we would have started our show and he wouldn't have looked like an asshole going on and gloating about how he called this.
He didn't even think for a second he wasn't right.
Yeah.
Not for a second did he think like, oh, maybe I'm being had right here. Because, that the first part of his show, like I said, I was watching it live. I would never watch him live. We were watching it live, and he's just like, I knew it. I told you guys. I've been telling you guys. First off, when does a prediction stop being a prediction? If I was saying, guys, the Chicago Cubs are going to win the World Series. I've been a fan since '84. If I was saying that every year, the 2016 happens, I'm like, I told you.
Yeah.
Like, at a certain point, it's like, but you said, He said all the fucking time. You've been wrong every time. John predicting that Bob Levy's leaving TSN. He's been saying it for 8 months straight.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it happened, it's like at this point, you no longer get credit for it.
Yes, but if and when it does happen, he'll have been right.
Right. It's so stupid.
Well, and even back to the Melton thing where he's like, I don't know if Kate went to the police today, but while waiting, he's like, if he sets foot, you don't even know what happened. You don't even know what they discussed. You don't know what the answer is, what they told her. And he's like, if you step foot, you're fucked. Like
shot on sight.
It's
victory lap John. Victory lap John. It's always early. It's always way too early.
And I don't think Kate Meanie talked to a detective. I don't think any of that's real. In my experience, John talks about talking to the cops all the time. And I doubt any of this is going on. But if she did, the detective would say, yeah, you know, that's, I'm sorry you're going through this. Listen, if he ever has direct contact with you, or if he's trying to incite his audience to do something specific, let us know. You know, it's one of those things where it's just like, there are no laws broken here. And, you know, we don't want to just be like, well, sorry about that. See ya. So they say some comforting things. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it ourselves. But if you have anything, send it our way. It's so ridiculous.
I had on Twitter one day in the newsroom, in the Howard 100 newsroom, I was looking at my Twitter and some guy tweeted me. He's like, I'm gonna kill you after you get off work. I'll see you in Manhattan. And my supervisor at the time's like, you got to go. I got to report this. You got to go to the precinct and make it. And I'm like, I get it all the time. It's fine. He goes, no, you got to go. And so I went to the precinct with the security from Sirius. Like they had to do this by the book. And I tell the woman, I'm like, hi, I'm here to file a harassment report. And she's like, where was the harassment? And I go, online. And she's like, where do you live? And I go, Queens. She goes, that's where you go file the report. And I'm like, I don't even want to be here. I'm not going to go to quit. Like, and now I'm getting harassed trying to file a fucking harassment report.
If he doesn't kill you, I will. Get the fuck out of my sights.
It's a nightmare, and they did nothing about it, and they're not going to do anything about this right now. They got, you know, it's like, it's ridiculous. There's nothing's going to happen from this.
Just covering their ass. Every corporation does it. Somebody got a blood infection stocking shelves. They got a cardboard paper cut, and then they got a flesh-eating bacteria. That happened one time. Suddenly, everybody has to report every little nick that ever happens because the company.
Because they care about the employees, right?
Yeah, that's why. It's not because they don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
Frog, put up some super chat. I gotta jump out and jump back in because my StreamYard's being funky. So I'll be right back. Karl, do what you do.
No problem. This is not what I do best. But Mason in Portland, aka Portland Shane Gillis, $10 says John's reaction last night made it all worth it. BL for life, FKB. Bob Levy for life. Yes, that he did make it all worth it. It was fantastic. He walked right into that trap. It's crazy. We talk about all these analogies. Wile E. Coyote.
Oh, yeah.
And the Roadrunner is one that we use all the time because John's always blowing himself up with the dynamite that he bought.
Yeah, I know.
Is such a perfect example of that, where he created this whole fantasy scenario in his head. Yeah. Bob Levy just put out a couple tweets and did an episode talking about shit. John's just like, I knew it. I knew it.
When he's watching the Derby tomorrow, his horse is going to be in the lead halfway through the race, and he's going to be on his way to collect his winnings before the fucking race ends, where that horse inevitably comes in second last.
But they were also saying, so what's the excuse going to be tomorrow? You know, and of course I said, you know, he's going to say he knew all along, but I watched.
It's like when he was catfished. He goes, no, I knew all along. I even made videos about it. I'll show them to you. I knew this guy was catfishing me, and it wasn't a real chick. It's like, but you hoped it was because you kept it going. When the conversation stopped, he's the one to reach back out to her, quote unquote. To keep the conversation going, hey, you want to meet me in Atlantic City? So it's really easy to like cover your bases, but you could tell that John thought for sure Bob Levy was leaving the show because he wasn't getting paid enough. Obviously.
Well, I watched a little thing My Lost Interest put together from the other night, and even after the reveal, John's going, I think this is the work, and I think that he's really leaving. Like he's still, right? Am I right, Frog? He's like, he still doesn't believe that
hilarious.
Bob's back in a weird way. It was so. Yeah, go ahead.
He says it in the package a little bit.
Yeah. So it's like he wanted it to be so true that even when the reveal happened, he's like, I'm not buying it. He goes,
He goes, let's
here.
see how many days a week he does.
Yeah. So if anyone hasn't seen what we're talking about, check out My Lost Interest. He did a great job of summarizing the video.
Killing it.
Yeah, it'll give you a nice little appetizer for the main course tonight on Rico. Brown Hour, member for 9 months. Yesterday, Stuttering John's loss is up there with the Chad's fake Venmos and the OG stream snipe fail. Love you guys.
For sure.
Yeah, that's
it was definitely a moment.
we might have that might have to be a category for the Dabby fail of the year or something, you know.
Best trolling.
That's Troy. Reggie Dunlop, $20. I'm back and I owe some fake super chats. Thank you, Reg. Happy Friday, fuckaroonies. Thank you, Dill Dog. Appreciate you, buddy. Bubble Popper, 24. Andy, a Stuttering John OG since 2019. We speak your name, respect. Agreed. I love Andy's take on John. The fucked up eye is easy to explain. John's okay, sun queefed in his face. That or the cats are trying to slowly kill him by shitting on his pillow. Red brings up the eye. That was on my list of topics.
Although I will say, though, in order for his son to queef in his face, he'd have to be somewhere near his son.
Good point.
We don't know the last time that has happened.
Great point. What's your take on the eye?
I definitely think it's herpes.
Some people have said herpes. Some people have said a sty. Some people have said liver failure.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm herpes. What's up? Somebody call me.
Not you, herpes.
Sorry.
Conjunctivitis?
Yeah.
Is that like a sty?
It's
that
like
something different?
pink eye.
Oh, okay.
Well,
And then you get it from fecal matter being all over the place.
See, that's usually the eyeball, though, right? Not the eyelid.
Yeah.
Well, no, Sal had a thing with his eye on the show, and the doctor said he got fecal matter in it, and yeah, and it's, I mean,
Was it Dr. Steve?
it was actually-
You were doing a bit.
but no, that can happen, and it's also, it's not necessarily his eye, it's his lid. Right? It's his eyelid that, if you have a picture, Frog, you can put it up. I know we have a bunch, but his eyelid is changing colors as if it was something like, if you've ever broken a bone, it starts changing those colors. Like, you know, it's weird. It looks odd. I'm not sure
I've gotten
what it
styes
is.
before, so I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah.
They don't last that long, though.
No.
Not if you treat them, you put something hot, compress it on there a few times a day, and kind of works itself out. He had that thing on his eye all week.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably
then-
like an infected tear duct or something.
Yeah. You have one where it's closed, where you
No,
can
it's
really
herpes.
see it.
Yeah, that's not the best one. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Dr. Hamburger says that is herpes.
Eye
Eye herpes.
Speaking of having things for a long time, this cough, this chest rattle that he's had for a couple, I'd say almost a month now. It's been like 3 weeks.
For sure.
At
Yeah. He
least.
always says, I always get over this stuff within 7 days. I don't know what's going on this time around. I mean,
He got over COVID in a few hours.
right. He is vaccinated, right? He should be fine. Right?
Oh, yeah.
That miracle cure that they came out with.
He just left the doctor's office. They said he was fine.
That's right. He said he was in perfect health.
fucking falling apart. It's faster than ever.
But somebody brought up a good point about the fecal matter thing in the chat, which is he's got 2 cats. He's in a small place. The litter isn't clean. Cats, a lot of times they'll clean off on things, right? He's passed out face down somewhere in that fucking 500 square feet. Maybe a cat walk by. Maybe there's, I'm sure you don't think there's any litter on whatever. Well, first of all, there's probably no sheet on anything, but
Right.
you don't think there's litter on whatever he's laying?
No, that's a good point because cats can be gross sometimes. And especially the litter box is not being cleaned regularly, which, and John likes to say like, oh, they're talking about my litter box. You talked about it, John. You're the one who told us you don't clean your litter box. You've explained this in multiple stories. So we know for a fact you hate cleaning your litter box and you don't. You wait until it's overwhelming and then you clean it up. So the cats are walking in their own poop.
Yeah.
Well,
And then they're walking around. They're walking on pillows.
Yeah.
They're walking on the fucking couch and shit. That's what cats do.
yeah.
There's shit everywhere.
They'll also get fed up with the state of the litter box and just start shitting and
Next to
pissing
it.
outside
Yep.
of the litter box because
I've had
you
that type of cat too.
Yeah.
It's like I was standing in the litter box. Yeah, that doesn't count, asshole.
And he actually told a story about waking up with cat shit on his bed. So there you go.
There you
Now-
go. Look at that.
That's
That's
I don't
almost Zumakian.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like somebody got maybe drank a little too much on his Klonopin and took a header somewhere.
Yeah. It does
That's
kind of look like
possible.
that. Knocked in,
But, you know,
bent
what do
down,
I
and
know?
hit the corner of the sink.
That picture it always makes me laugh every time. I don't know why. Don't forget the cat smell in Stuttering John's apartment as well. Yeah. I want to see how many windows. How much do I got to pay to flip the camera around and show me the ventilation in that
That's
place?
a good point because it is a basement apartment
It
Right.
is-
in a
oh,
gated community, mind you.
Gated.
That's even more sad than
Oh,
I
yeah.
envisioned.
Oh yeah, it's brutal. It's just like this building's probably got 4 units in it. Joe would know better than I do.
Dude,
Probably
it's where
Four.
a terrorist
4, okay.
rents. Yeah, it's what a
Yeah.
terrorist rents while they're waiting to do their attack. You know,
Shuli,
It's like-
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're not going to fucking believe that you think this is bad.
yeah.
Look at this.
Get out of here.
Is he wearing
Yeah.
clown makeup now?
Get
oh my
out
god,
of
we
here.
have broken him.
Oh no.
blown load on his face.
Oh my god. It looks like when
Get
you
off
find
of YouTube. Go to a doctor.
CEO of Fuck You Inc. is his title.
I
So
like
it's like-
as soon as he tried to fix the background.
Yeah.
Finally, he got bullied into getting a green screen and making his show look a little bit more professional. As soon as he fixed the background, now his face has been fucked ever since.
He can't do anything about the front ground.
Yeah, right.
Looks like when you find an old piece of cheese in your fridge that was like
Yeah.
tucked way back there, and you go,
You're
look
like,
at
oh,
the spots on
That's
this
that's
thing.
what stunk so bad all this.
Oh
all
my
these weeks.
god. That's fucking hilarious.
Moldy lips.
You know, hold on, Dave, bro. Take a page from Bob and take a few days off, Kevin. You know,
Right.
you clearly need it. Jeez.
Well, okay. So let me bring this point up.
Yeah, go
because
ahead.
One of the things that annoys me about both Kevin and John, they're the same person,
Right.
is this braggadocious talk about income.
Yes.
Nonstop talking about how much money they make and how they're making
Yeah.
all this money and it's amazing how much money they make. And yet they can't take one day off from doing a podcast. Tells me they're not that secure. If every fucking day, even when it's embarrassing for you, you have to show up on the internet and read insults and read your stupid super chats.
Well, that was he was saying the other day. He goes, "I'm doing the best I've ever done on YouTube," and it's like you're getting hammered more than ever before. $2 at a time. Like, I'm glad this is the fucking finish line you were looking to cross in life. You know, good for you, Danny Brophy. $5. Good afternoon, gentlemen, and Frog Shuli. That was a good prank with you and Bob this week. Don't ever fucking do that again. Hey, threaten Bob. I went along with it. I could smell genius. That was gold, that idea. Where are we at about getting super tips for who are these socials?
Hold on a second. Leave that up. I'm going to Brennan this one.
Yeah.
I'm setting this off. We're working on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Stuttering John is the real life version of Sandy Lyle from Along Came Polly.
I've seen that, but I don't remember.
I don't either. Sorry, DJ. It's a deep pull, man. Breaking news, Eric Ann says John is fucking gross.
Let's
Thank
do an
you,
emergency
Eric.
episode right now.
Just cleaning up empties that missed the garbage would take hours, says Rumple Trenchcoat. Oh, in the cleanup process? Yeah. Kyle, gonna catch the replay tonight. I like throwing cash at y'all. Andy, I sub to your Patreon chat. Go sub. It's great. Andy, you going to Vegas?
Oh God, I can't believe you're bringing this up. I'm not. It's my cousin's wedding, and I'm very upset that I'm about everything I'm going to miss out on.
Yeah, you are gonna miss
specifically
out.
the punk museum and the
I
poker
know.
game. Like
No, Andy, specifically the podcast, the live podcast.
yeah,
we're
the
doing.
podcast, sure,
Fucking
but
guy. The
Right.
words of promoting things.
it's so it's
Hackamadia.com, promo code WATP, 20% off, May 31st through June 2nd in Vegas.
it's going to be amazing,
Yes.
and yeah, I'm really upset. And when I learned that my cousin's wedding was the same day, I was like, at least it's in the same town that Brian Johnson lives in. I
Oh,
could
right.
go visit TESD town, and Brian will be there. And then Brian's like, "Hey, I'm going to Vegas." And, God, fucking damn it! Nothing's working
But-
out for me. Except, I feel. Congratulations to my cousin.
Yeah, I just
I'll
want
be
to.
there.
Yeah, someone capture that and find Andy's cousin online. Kyle, I just want to tell you, buddy, thank you for your super chat WATS today. We already got your personalized jingle created, so thank you.
Wow, look at
See you in
this.
Vegas.
Hey, Karl, I was doing that first. I was giving super fans He was yelling that the other day when we said we would bring fans on to hang out for a
he
few
was
minutes on
listing all
Rico.
the losers he's had on his show as if that was some kind of triumph. He's like, I've had hockey puck on.
Oh, all his mods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, John, we know you have no content. It's not impressive.
everyone that hates him now with a passion he's
Yeah.
had on. What a coincidence. Karl, Lisa from that reality show sounds exactly like Nathan from the retard camp in South Park. The guy who's always saying, "Shut up, Mimsy."
I like pizza.
Chaos.
I can't digest cheese. Did you know that?
Lisa Boswell, if you haven't checked this out, go to our YouTube channel. It's called That Reality Show. It's my favorite new YouTube show in the world.
And Karl's impression is dead on.
I know, I'm not even exaggerating. It's how this person talks. Oh my God, I was watching it this morning. It's so funny because, now we've hit their radar, so they're constantly referring to things that we say. And Lisa goes, so these are two elderly trans women. And Lisa goes,
I'm in.
They say I talk slow, but I had a stroke.
I was like, holy shit, this is fucking perfect. This is amazing.
Oh my
it's great.
God.
Anyway,
the
check that out.
soundboard's going to get filled up real
They're
quick.
fantastic.
So fucking great.
I better not see them on Uncle Rico.
No. Strictly recreational. No business.
What was the name of that again?
That reality show. You guys actually should check it out
Clip that.
for BS.
Dill Dog, I've got a 3,500 square foot house and it's $250 a month to get clean. The difference? I'm not a human tornado. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
But that's a great comparison right there because
Yeah.
the cleaners come in, they vacuum, they dust, and they go about their day.
Yeah.
And it's
The sliding
also a
scale.
price. It's also a price you give somebody that you never want to come back and do it again.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're like, I'm going to overcharge him in the hopes that he goes, get the fuck out. And I don't even have to do it today.
Yeah.
Right? Much less come back and do it another time.
$300 is not a lot of money, but they doubled their estimate.
Yeah.
That's a pretty significant climb, right?
Yeah.
For that small of a space, that's a
Yeah.
lot of money. Like, Erica Ann gifting 5. Thank you, Erica.
Thank you, Erica.
Jeff, seems like John really wants to be kind of Jim Jones type, but he doesn't know how to make plans. He can only see goals that are in line of sight. Yeah, making plans requires to look into the future, to prepare, to look into the future. He doesn't want to see the future. This guy,
No,
all he does, he is Uncle
fantasizes.
Rico. Yeah,
He
it's
fantasizes about the future, things that can never possibly happen. Me and Melton are cellmates, or me and Vinnie Paulino are cellmates because of a phone call we made to a sports bar. Like, these are the things he's fantasizing about.
yeah.
So
And
sad.
every week, one of us is in his crosshairs where he's going, "You fucked up. You're in trouble." And no one's ever in trouble. No one's ever fucked up
No.
except him. Karl has a mom wife. Haha. Only losers have a life partner that care for their well-being.
That's right. I am. That's a good point. I have a loser.
Take it easy,
Remember to
DPM.
smack her around later tonight.
I'm a German immigrant from Germany to Canada, yet Stuttering John claims I'm fake in Argentina. Liar. You may have a lawsuit. You may have a lawsuit.
Yeah, when he was explaining how your guys' fake super chats work, it was the most convoluted thing ever. So this starts as a real person, and
Right.
then they convert it into a fake person, and then they put up fake super chats.
Yeah.
Like, someone's feeding him this shit. That's the funniest part about this. And we should talk about this too. He was talking about a friend that he has, and he says, because Gonzo asked him the greatest question ever when he had Alisa Jordana on. I want to get into all of that, so remind me. But he was talking about a friend he has, and he goes, and this friend of mine must be in Dabble as Anonymous, because then they start making references to how I'm wet-brained and all these things that Dabble as Anonymous guys talk about. And I'm thinking, okay, this is either Leo Gunn or it's Broccoli, or because his friends are just people who super chat him that he eventually gets their phone number and starts texting with.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so fucking bizarre. It's such a weird thing. I've had co-hosts on my show that don't have my phone number.
Yeah.
It's so pathetic.
Well, it's like people when I worked with the Wack Pack and people were like, "Hey, can you give High Pitch my number?" And I go, "You don't want that.
No, yeah, you don't want that.
You don't want that access, you know." And every time I was right. They'd always be like, "Can you ask him to stop texting me, please?"
The first time John and I ever talked on the phone together, and this was after we did MLC together, and then there was talks about me and him doing a show together. He didn't realize what it was going to be at the time. He thought we were buds.
Right.
But I remember I was DMing with him, and I said, "All right, man, I'll give you my phone number on Friday. We can chat." He called me before I gave him my number.
What?
He got my number somehow. Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Have you what you just reminded me? Have you watched that thing on Netflix, Baby Reindeer?
Yes, I watched the whole thing. Yes.
So,
have you watched Baby Reindeer yet?
No, but I heard it's good.
It's good. It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
good.
nuts. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: I don't know if you know this, but people have tracked down the real woman.
Yes, I saw you guys talking about it on BS. Yes.
Her posts are exactly like John. They are so similar. It's insane.
Well, what I loved about it, so someone tracked down who this woman is a stalker in the show, but it's based on a true story.
Oh, that's was my first question.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know, they tried to make it so people couldn't figure it out, but the internet figures everything out. And this stalker, very similar to John, starts off with, "That's not me. It's not based on me. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Actually, I don't even know the guy. I've never been to that bar. Okay, I went to that bar maybe 10 years ago. Okay, I've met the guy. He was actually stalking me." Like very quickly, you're like, wait a second. Everything you were saying was a lie. Now we think this is a lie too.
Well, she goes, "I've never been to that bar." She goes, "Why would I go to a bar that's been in trouble for drugs and sexual misconduct?" And it's like, oh, you know all this thing about this bar that you've never been in? Like,
that's not on their Yelp page.
The Last of Us.
Can we go back to the fake super chats for just a second?
What's that?
Can we go back to the fake super chats? Karl mentioned it a second ago.
Sure. Let me thank Luigi Greenberg for that picture. Go ahead.
So what John is never able to explain, or the people on Reddit, is if we're using overlays to fake the super chats, how are they coming up in YouTube when you're watching it? Like even on Reddit, they'll take a screenshot of the chat coming up on YouTube and post it and say it's fake. How?
No shit. Right. It'd be one thing if you guys were using the super tip thing like Melton does and these shows where that's all like behind the scenes, so you could easily fake that and just be like, well, here's another one, here's another one. But this is all right within the chat that everyone's staring at.
I've got the Photoshops.
Yeah, right. I got the Photoshops.
Sure you do.
He did say that once.
I've got the Photoshops. I mean, this guy has said I have the screenshots way too many times as an adult. You know, James Quinn, Shuli, Karl, and Andy are wonderful people. Shuli, I'm sorry for embarrassing you last Friday in front of your friends with a bad super chat joke. You please, you could never embarrass me more than I've embarrassed myself. L'chaim achi, toda rabah. Thank you.
I'm glad I have to read that one. Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's after the 300. No, I'm kidding. Put it back up one second.
Yeah, put it back up. There's so much to analyze with this.
Is this actual or is this just a bit?
No, this is a photo he took.
This was a few months ago. No, this was a few months ago when what happened? I don't remember how the camera got turned around. Didn't Vince get him to do it or something?
Is it just a jug of windshield wiper fluid?
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, is that like his way out? Is that his escape? He's like,
it's like,
I'll just drink this and end it all.
Yeah, it's an $8 bottle of wine next to a jug of antifreeze that he's gonna mix into a bucket and chug when he wants to.
So here's my. Go ahead.
The thing that everyone points out, and I love this. Andy, you play bass guitar. We're in Buzzmeyers together.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to check that out, our new recordings available now anywhere you stream music.
Please do.
But how expensive are guitar stands?
Okay.
So I don't like to brag about this. It's probably the first time I'm doing this on the internet. I might own a dozen guitar stands. I don't even use them all.
Yeah.
Like I have guitar stands that I might use someday. This fucking asshole has a guitar that's just leaning up against the wall.
Guitar stands are like bikes in Europe. You could just walk over and pick one up and walk and take it where you need
They're
it.
like umbrellas. Like you don't have to buy one. They just show up in your life. Like what the fuck's he doing?
It's like if you had any kind of memorabilia, what if it was just leaning on a shelf?
Right. Well, like you used to have the
Right.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar jersey, just on a hanger over his bed, not like in a frame or something.
But here's my question. Can we go back to the photo
Yeah.
real quick? All right. So there's the trash can.
Yeah.
You're telling me, first of all, it's always a hook shot kind of throw, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which would mean it's to his left because he
Yes.
throws it. He kind of aim or
Correct.
is that his perspective from when he's broadcasting?
100%. Yeah, that's when he's throwing the cans, that's what he's looking at.
First of all, it's a small can.
That's why he always misses. He
And
always misses.
it's pretty far. Like you have to be as lazy as he is to continuously think you're gonna make it. He knows he's not. He just doesn't want to get the fuck up.
Hold
I'm
on.
sure the trash can being full doesn't help.
Shuli, I think I might have the biggest gotcha that no one's even talking about right now.
Uh-huh.
That's not even a blue recycle bin. John, are you not recycling cans?
Oh,
For
fuck.
shame. Are you sending those to a landfill, John? Global warming. What is wrong with you? You might as well vote for Trump.
Also, I think I just found something too. But back of the litter boxes behind the guitar case, is that a walking stick,
Yes.
bro?
That is absolutely
That's for
a
his
walking
hikes.
stick.
You're right.
Why don't you put that to fucking use, bro? Fucking walk without vomiting.
I love that John now, because someone took a photo of him walking through the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So now that's his excuse for never exercising again. It's amazing.
I want people taking pictures of me and photoshopping me into whatever Lord of the Rings.
This guy at the gym has to spot me. I'm never working out again. You people got to leave me alone. Don't you understand? You had me for a minute. By the way, Stuttering John couldn't pay me enough to look at this crap hole. Listen, it's the stuff he doesn't want you to see is what I'd pay for.
But do you see why the Democrats want everyone coming over the border? Because John knows that an American's not going to go to that place and clean it for $300. Yeah.
Sure as hell not. Report. Hiya, Karl. Rick the
Hiya.
Ruler. Thank you for 13 months. Shuli, the Little Rascals cap doesn't work. The shaved head doesn't work. Time to try the Howard Stern wig. It couldn't be any worse. All right.
Yeah.
There were some people asking you to put Mr. Berliner's wig on the other day.
Were they? What am I? The fucking dancing monkey? I'm just gonna put hair on my head.
Nice.
Not bad. I need to style it a little bit.
Joe List now.
I wish it was that funny.
How dare you son of a bitch. The mayor, New York City Mayor Adams declared the Kate Meanie versus Melton case to be more important than pro-Hamas riots and subway crimes.
I saw that. Yeah, Wall Street Journal pointed that out.
Penis Wrinkle, the legend. We busted Stuttering John on the $200 grift. He now claims it was a joke. I love telling jokes where I trick people into sending me money. Hilarious.
Pretty funny stuff.
Love when TSN has Stuttering John step on the rake. Thank you, Mean Gene.
So that 20 right there,
Yes.
we got to check that. It seems like a George Floyd counterfeit. If I've ever seen one. This is all fake.
Andy, this one's for you. Indian Bra wants you to give him that. Go ahead.
Turning into a monster.
That was one of the greatest takes of all time because you were so shocked. We had John up on the screen. You looked over and just like, he's turning into a monster. What the fuck is going on with this guy?
Yeah, it was that Frankenstein,
It was so
the
genuine.
washed out liver spot image. He looked like he was dead.
Yeah.
That was one of the categories we did for You Make the Call was best look, I think, or worst look.
Yeah.
And there's so many. He went through so many changes, all of them terrible. It's crazy. Mr. Shuli, Mr. Hamburger, can we please official date and place for DabbleCon 2?
Yes.
Yeah, the place is the Carlson, Comedy at the Carlson. And the date, Karl?
Is August 16th and 17th, the Friday and Saturday in August. I'm going to tell everyone who traveled to Rochester for the first DabbleCon, thank you for coming here at the beginning of February. I'll never ask you to do that again. August is a lovely time of year here in Rochester. Lots of things to do. Very beautiful place to be.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a way better event based on that alone.
Correct.
Yeah, I got a lot of ideas. And you know what I'm thinking, and we don't have to figure it out now, but I would like to plant the idea in your head is to stream it. Somehow have a streaming service for people who aren't going to be able to make it. For the dabbies, at least.
Well, I don't want to encourage people not to travel, though.
No,
I something for that with Hackamania. I mean, yeah, you can make a pay-per-view, I guess, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
okay, yeah, we can definitely do that. They're all
I think we'll have. I think we'll be good with that.
Hey, real quick, while we're talking, that's funny. Real quick, while we're talking about Rochester, the beautiful area here in Western New York, I know there's a lot of people in the Dabbleverse who are Buffalonians and Syracusers and Rochesterians. Check out the Isotopes this Saturday night, tomorrow night, May the 4th. We will be at Beer Park, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. You can see my band, and you can judge whether or not me or John is a better guitarist. Yeah. Come down to Beer Park and see for yourself with the Isotopes.
Speaking of Rochester, just to throw out a plug for the man behind the latest prank, Mr. Bob Levy. He will be in Rochester, I believe, in the end of July, I think, at christening the Rickles Room, ladies and gentlemen. So come on out and enjoy the show. I will be there for that. And
Vinny Paulino is actually going to be performing with Bob. He's doing The Dirty Show.
Featuring Moonhead.
Moonhead will be there. I was talking to Vinny about it today. We were over at the Comedy Club recording a very fantastic creep-off bonus. Andy got uninvited to it because we had Royce from ROTC and producer Chris there watching Thunder in Paradise. But anyway, I was talking to Vinny about the Bob Levy show, and he's very excited because he's just going to do the dirtiest jokes he could possibly do on that show.
I love it. Brian Clowder gifted one. Let's go.
Brian Clowder, you are a fucking asshole.
Fungal infection, low ventilation and sunlight, plus high humidity from all the thrown cans and cat piss. That, people talk about the cat shit. It's the cat piss you really got to worry about.
Humidity from the cans.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe all of it. It's all possible in there. How can you look at those fingernails and then wonder how he has eye herpes? Yeah,
that's a good point. Like that's so filthy.
Yeah,
even when he was showing
it straight into his eye.
Oh God, you got to think because he never has Kleenex on the ready or anything. He's probably runs out of toilet paper all the time.
Yeah,
shoving those fingers up there.
And even when he was showing it, he was holding his eye open and he touches it with his hand. And then immediately goes to this eye and touches this eye with it. Same fingers.
It's like they teach you that when you're 6, not to do that shit.
Same as blowing your nose. He hasn't mastered that yet. No.
So. The camera is only from the chest up. You don't see all of the stuffing the hand down the pants, so the front and the back, scratching that goes on off camera.
God.
Well, bringing that up brings me to his latest guest, who I always say is phenomenal on his show, no matter if she's on his show or he's on hers, but that's Alisa Jordana. Yeah. When she's with John, she always gets great stuff out of him, whether he knows it or not, and he never does. And I have yet to finish watching that package because we started watching John's reaction yesterday and all that. But already, like, the creepiness, number one, is off the charts. And then just how dumb he is when he's interviewing somebody. Like he's setting up, he's pitching that he's going to have her on and break this whole story of what happened on the video that went viral. And then she comes on, he goes, you going to talk about it? She goes, no, I can't. He goes, all right, well, that's that. And then
it's worse than that. Really? It's worse than that. So John asks about the whole incident that we're all talking about with Alisa Jordana. She says, I can't talk about it.
She's the only one that can't.
John follows up with 3 more questions about that specifically. And every time she goes, John, I can't talk about it. Like, what part of that do you not understand? He could not figure it out. And I guess I have to say, Alisa went on my buddy Drew Lane's podcast, the Drew Lane Show, not long after that incident. And it's a fantastic interview because Drew knows how to interview people.
Right.
John's horrible at it.
That's what I was going to say. There's ways of getting the answer without asking that question.
Correct.
Yeah. And so he doesn't understand that.
Yeah, John
So-
just goes, so that guy, did he give you $1 million? She's like, I'm not going to talk about that.
Right.
That's not the right way to ask that. John's so fucking jealous all the time. It's just like, you got a viewer to give you money. How do you do it?
No, you're 100% right. It's what he cares about the most in this video is in this interview is, wow, does she have $1 million? And it's like 9-ball. He's setting up for the next shot. He goes, if she does have $1 million, you know, then
Can
now
I have some of it?
So one of my favorite
Yep.
parts about that interview, there's a few that stick out, but one of my favorite parts is, so, you know, John's arguing with her about whether or not she taught him how to do IRL streaming correctly or not, which is so insane. But so John asks, what's the most money you've made in a day doing IRL streaming? And Alisa says, $150,000. Maybe it was $200,000. And John's response was, in one day? I don't care if it's a week. I don't care if it's a month. I mean, John, what are we doing here? That's $150,000 is, I don't know, $100,000 more than you make in a year. So it doesn't matter if it's a day or not. Like, that's your takeaway? In one day? Yeah, from fucking one hard up dude who wants to fuck her, John. Do you not understand what her business model is?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny to me that he's like, no, teach me without going. Listen, you can get the best people on earth in IRL to teach you how to IRL. One thing you cannot teach John is to be honest, is to stop bullshitting, is to stop pretending like everything isn't what it is. That makes good IRL.
Yeah, let's not pretend that Alisa isn't playing a character on her
I
stream
get
channel.
it. I get it. But it's about more about putting yourself out there, right?
Yes,
That's
correct.
kind of the hook with IRL streaming.
Well,
where people,
I mean, here's a perfect example of that. So John was saying when he's trying to get the $200 from his viewers, he's trying to grift them out of the $200. Everyone wants to see my apartment. Everyone's always asking about it. What a slob I am. So I will show you for $200, only because he just got it cleaned.
Yeah, right.
But John would never, ever actually show what's going on in there. He would never see what's doing, which is
And
what
think-
IRL streaming is.
Yeah.
Right. And think about the fact of how much he could make, how much more he could make if he did say, I don't want to show you I don't want to show you and then boom, 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 money starts coming in. And then you show him. That's the payoff. You actually have to do it, John.
Yeah.
You can't just grift them, you know?
I just had an idea.
Yeah.
John should it'd be the first person to ever do this in OnlyFans. But you never see him on the OnlyFans. There's just no videos of him, no photos of him. It's just his disgusting house and his gross apartment.
It's a home run. It's a home run. And
$8.99 a month. I'm in. That's fine.
I'm there.
Take my
I'm
money.
there. And I'll jerk off to it. I'll jerk off to it too. What do you think of that?
$5 tiers the kitchen, $10 tiers the bathroom.
Yes, right.
Wow.
It's all OnlyFans, and this is what I hear. I'm not on there, but I hear it's all about upselling, right? So it's $10 a month. Oh, that's nothing. But then you get on there, and they're like, "You want to see this video?
Yeah.
That's extra $30."
Look how dirty this toilet is. There's
Yeah.
still hemorrhoid blood in there.
You want to see my hemorrhoid blood? That's $50.
Yo.
Like, fuck it, I'm doing it. $50. Let's go.
$100 tier. There's a camera in the toilet. It's the Chuck Berry tier. You're like, let's do it.
But John's so stupid, he just put his phone in there.
Yeah.
His phone's just floating in the toilet.
This fucking thing's not working and it's covered in shit. What's going on?
Heather
Listen,
W, send me a new phone.
I want to bring a guy in here who's from John's neck of the woods, knows some of the people that John knows musically, and I might have a story or two about John's musical past in Long Island.
Exclusive.
Joe, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how are you? Thank you for having me on.
No problem, man. Thanks for joining us. So,
Can I just say real quick? I like this guy's style.
Oh yeah,
It's like I'm looking in the mirror right now.
Cooling down
right.
the road.
You are a good-looking dude.
Yeah, you too, buddy. We're good-looking guys, you and me.
almost. Hey, listen, real quick. So Joe, you're from his neck of the woods. You were around for the John Rockstar era. Anything stick out in your mind from that time?
So, I feel like I've probably told this to you and probably texted Karl on his show. But John's 10 years older than me. And John doesn't realize it, but, he was a major dick to, like, everybody coming up. Like, he thought he was hot stuff back when he was first on the Howard Stern show, and we were both rehearsing at the same studio right here in Massapequa, Long Island, called Li Rocks, and he was just a raging dick, just pompous, and his guitar playing sucked. I mean, he was probably 27. We were 16, 17 years old, and guys that I know would have blown him out of the water back then.
So you don't think he was the second best guitarist in his high school? Because he claims that he was.
He might have been the fourth best player in his band behind the drummer. and maybe even the second best air guitar player. Have you ever seen him play air guitar?
I've never seen a guitarist do this.
Have you ever seen somebody go like this?
No.
Now, this needs to be asked. What do you, I'm a bass player, and bass players have chips on their shoulders. So what do you play? Because maybe you're just a jelly bass player.
Good point.
So no, I am. Listen, by no means am I a good guitar player. You know, like I worked at Sam Ash in my early days, and you know who the hacks are. You know, I'm a hack. And you know a hack when you see one. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And
I'm right here. I'm right here. Take it easy.
No,
Go ahead.
You know a hack guitar player. You know what I'm talking about, Karl.
I do.
You know when a guy plugs in and is just like playing bad notes and just like bending the wrong strings and just making noise. You know, so.
People love when I talk about John's use of the pentatonic scale. I get all these notes. Like, Karl, tell us more about the pentatonic scale and how that's the only thing John knows. I will. So I loved it when he was on Conan O'Brien and we were analyzing this guitar solo that he has now come since said, like, well, it's live. It's 5 billion people watching. I was going to get all these excuses for why he can't play guitar. But the thing that I pointed out, I've never seen a guitarist do this before. So he's obviously playing in A minor pentatonic. Right. So he's on the 5th fret for the first part of the solo, and then he slides up to the 17th fret for the second part of the solo. He plays in just those two positions, which are the same position, just an octave apart from each other. Yeah. Those are the only two positions he plays in. Every other guitarist you watch, they're sliding around the neck, they're moving around, they're playing in different... This guy sucks at guitar, and he's missing notes all over the place, and the bends are sharp. It's crazy.
No, he was shredding. What are you talking about?
So bad.
That's Massapequa shredding at its finest.
Joe, I wanted to ask you about the studio that you mentioned, Li Rocks.
Li Rocks, yeah.
So you told me a story that John would actually wear the shirt for that studio on Channel 9 show.
Channel 9 shows, yeah. So, that's how he would get, like, his studio time and how he would pay for stuff, He would actually, the owner, and I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying his name. I'll give his first name. I don't want to die.
Yeah, just his first name is fine.
His name's Larry. And I talked to Larry here and there. I just recently reached out to him. And what do you call it? Yeah, so he would wear the Li Rocks t-shirt on the Channel 9 show, which later on, Howard, I believe, and Gary found out that he would do that with local businesses to get extra money or here's the thing with John. John is not a hustler. John is a scammer. Mm-hmm. There's people who hustle and there's people who scam. John is a scammer. He looks to do as little as possible and make as much as he can off of other people, and that's just his MO.
Yep.
And it sounds like a hustler kind of gets away with it. A scammer gets caught. Gets found out. Right.
Absolutely.
So I would agree with that. Yeah, go ahead,
Shuli. I just wanted to say, John is the guy. He made his rise up with Stern and stuff, and the people that you treat like shit on the way up, you eventually see on the way back down. Mm-hmm. So why burn those bridges? And he's grade A #1 douchebag.
Now you are, through other people, they're in contact with his old bandmates. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I like I said, I was always kind of around, I would bump.
You're a lot younger. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would bump into guys they were, significantly older, but you would hear stories and this guy's older brother or whatever, and and his ego was large enough for massive people. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I was watching a live show from '94 recently
Right.
on WATP, and John talks about how he plays all the solos on his album until we pressed him on it, and then he went, well, maybe a couple I didn't play. But he said that Bill Titus, who's the other guitarist in the John Melendez or Stuttering John band, he goes, Bill didn't play any of the leads on the album. And then you watch him live in concert, and Bill's a much better guitarist than John in every single conceivable way. And at that point, you go, well, why didn't you let him play any solos? Like, Croge is the other guitarist in the Isotopes. Yeah. I write songs and give him the solo because I know he's very competent and good at it. Like, that's what a normal person would do. They want their band to be as good as possible. They don't need to be in the limelight the entire fucking time.
Right. You know your limitations, and you know who could play it better than, like...
Right.
Absolutely 100%. I cannot play lead for shit, you know? And I would never attempt to play a lead. If I'm playing a song or whatever, I'm not going to attempt to play lead. Karl, I've seen you play online with the Isotopes, and 100%, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass.
Go ahead and blow some smoke. It's fine.
I agree. He's adequate.
A better guitar player than Karl.
Yeah,
thank you, Joe.
But have you seen Croge playing it?
He's good. He's very good too. No, but Joe, what you just said, it's so crazy to me, and this is why we're even talking about this, because no one would give a shit about John's musical career if it weren't for the fact that he brags about how great he was. If he was like you, Joe, and Joe, I'm sure you're better than you're giving yourself credit for, but that's what you're supposed to be. Like, have some humility. I don't claim to be a great guitarist. I only claim to be way better than John. Way better than John. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. I think Shuli's better than John.
Hey, man.
Better at air guitar for sure.
I'll start next week, and I bet you I pass him. I bet you I lap that shit.
You only have to be one page ahead.
Yeah, I'll do it. Listen, Joe, we'll have you on another time. I got a few other things I got to get to. Thank you for popping in. Anything? I'm sure you'll be hearing from people, and you'll have more stories to tell us the next time we talk.
After this, I'm actually going to grab a slice right here at Papa Lardo's and drop it off at my buddy's house.
Oh, are you getting a free pizza because of this? Is this why you're name dropping business names?
I got to see if I get a shirt from him.
Yeah.
Right. Next time.
Does your friend have a sign on that says if it's paid for, I don't want it? Does he have a sign in front of his house saying that? Because if so, tell him I said hi.
Yeah, when I cruise by, I'll let you know.
Thank you, buddy.
Guys. I really appreciate it.
Hey, get us Bill Titus's contact info. I want to talk to that.
Yeah. And watch out for Hitman Dan.
I have it. I have it.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Very
Let's
good.
reach
All right.
out.
Thanks, Joe. It was good to talk to you, buddy.
No problem, man.
Later, Joe. Yeah, Joe's the man. Joe knows people, Karl. We're on it.
But that's so, and we gloss over it, and it just seems like, yeah, no shit. But everyone that's had experience with John IRL tells the same story. He's a pompous asshole, treats everyone like shit, and thinks that he's in the Truman Show. John just thinks that he's the star of the movie everywhere he fucking goes.
Was it WATP, this recent episode with Melton, where the guy told the story about John forgetting his guitar at the gig?
Yes. Yes, the guy on our Patreon sent me a note. He was playing in this cover band, and John's going to show up. It's like 1999 or something like that. John's going to show up and play guitar with them, and it was a big deal. They're promoting it. So Howard Stern was going to be there, and this guy was a big fan of Howard Stern, so he's all excited about it. And John just gets drunk and plays pool in the back of the room. And then when it's time to come on stage and perform, he doesn't even grab his guitar. He's too drunk to play guitar. And then he leaves his guitar there. He just stumbles out to grab a cab. And it would have been so great if this guy could have called into Howard the next morning and just said, hey, guess whose guitar I have, And instead, this guy's guitarist from his band runs the guitar out. John, you forgot your guitar. Like, damn it.
And John would have been so pissed if that call would have been. I don't even think he would have put it up. I think because he gave
after I sang in your band.
Yeah.
Really?
After all I did for you.
After all I've done for you. You're going to tell Howard.
I went and got that fucking video that does 15 minutes of his stand-up for him. I went and got that VHS, mailed it back to him, and then like a month or two later, they were talking about Scott leaving money on the roof of his car and driving off, and John leaving a check behind. And I'm like, oh, I'll call in with the tape story. That'll be funny. And while I'm on hold, he's like, really? He picks up while I'm on hold. He goes, really? This is what you do after everything I did for you. The guy literally didn't give me a minute of stage time in Vegas when I went and saw them.
That's all
But
I
he
could
did
think of
everything.
was that story when this guy was telling his left his guitar
Yeah.
behind story.
Yeah.
He's that guy every day, all day for the rest of his life. Pat, sorry it took so long to get to this. Thank you very much. This Dabbleverse helps with all my travel. Really appreciate it. Why does he change the type of beer he drinks? Think I have counted 4 different boxes this week. Someone could do the count to see how many beers he drinks. Well, I have a theory on this. Some of them he's reusing boxes. It's not the beer he's pulling out isn't from that box.
That's
You
like his version
understand?
of a cooler, an 18-pack.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah,
By the way,
or maybe-
Pat, I want to thank you. I'm always blown away by people in England and
Yeah.
Europe and Australia, Canada. You're cool too. That are so into the Dabbleverse. It's
love it.
crazy to
Crazy.
me. I love
Yeah.
it.
We
Thank
got to
you.
go
It's
across the
insane.
pond, Karl, and do something over there. I think we can
I
do
think
something.
Rochester's probably a good place to do it.
All right, you're right. It's summertime.
like a
Let's
mile
make
from
sure
my
we go
house.
in summertime in London. Let's do it.
Yeah. Rochester's a lot nicer than London, I hear.
What's that? They hate Jews there too? All right. Yeah, you're right.
I was gonna say, yeah, London right now. I don't think you want to be there, Shuli.
You're right. You're right. A prison is a gated community as well.
Yes,
Great point.
John's definition of a gated community is fucking crazy. He
Yeah.
lives in a shithole that has a fence around it.
Yeah.
It's a fence.
Well, I have a friend who lives in a gated community. Every time I'm on the phone with him, he's always like, "Hold on one second. Go away. Go away."
Yeah.
He's always
Hold
going,
on, the
"Go
Uber
away."
driver's here. I didn't
Yeah.
order. Is that you talking about Howard Stern?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
He's
your
always
friend of
like,
the gated community?
I didn't order it. Go away. Biden rules. Hudson, been a WATP fan and Patreon subscriber since day one. I remember being angry at Shuli's first appearance when he refused to say anything bad about John.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Hudson. I recall that because Shuli and I talked before the show, and I asked, hey, would you be willing to do a Stuttering John segment? And Shuli's like, you know what, I'd rather not. And Shuli's watching the chat in the Discord the whole time, and finally at the end of the show, Shuli just goes, all right, well, thanks for having me, Karl, and fuck Stuttering John. And I went, yes, all right, we're halfway there.
Baby steps,
That's right.
I had to get the first one off. Guys, can we talk about the death rattle cough? Yeah, it's brutal. It's bad.
I've had it too. I got sick a month ago. When did we
Oh.
record our album? It was about a month ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Our
It was,
singer.
was that bad, the album? Made you sick?
No, it had nothing to do with that.
It made me
Oh.
sick.
Our singer was very sick in my car. We're driving home. He's like, I got allergies. Like, I don't think that's allergies. It's coughing the whole fucking way. So the next day, I have it. And it's been fucking lingering with me for the last month, too. It's really annoying.
Well, how many cats do you have, fucker?
I have
What's going
0
on in
cats.
here? Oh, wow.
What's weird about it?
I see KB is using a new hand-squeezed ointment. You got to put that picture back up, bro. I got to see
Wait,
that
is
again.
that still going on over there on MLC?
No, not that one. you idiot. Yeah, look at that. Oh my God.
It's like zinc that lifeguards put on their nose. He's putting it on his herp dog.
It's like that Mitch Hedberg joke where he has like a pimple and he puts the pimple cream on. He's like, it doesn't make it shinier and more noticeable. So you're just drawing attention to that thing, dude. What are you doing?
Truly, as if this isn't bad enough. He's
Oh,
watching
no.
clips from Uncle Rico and My Lost Interest clips. His show has become. I never.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's become what it always was going to be. Whatever's working for somebody else suddenly isn't gay anymore.
It's
according
worse
to
than
Kevin.
that. When
Yeah.
Kevin was making fun of Uncle Rico or WATP, like, oh, they just watch clips. They just watch clips. The reason why Kevin wasn't doing that is he didn't know how.
And he still doesn't. He's
Well,
watching.
yeah,
and he
he's
still
still
doesn't know how.
fucking it up. Yeah, that is correct.
It's a photo finish between him and John as to who is worse at this. Watching and commenting, because neither of them comment. When they do, it's nothing, and they skip around. They have no timestamps. They have nothing edited. It's awful. Awful.
Unbelievable. I know.
It's insane to think when I first became aware of MLC was when Bob was still on it and Chad was the dartboard for all of the jokes.
Yep.
And it was a funny
It
show.
was a good show.
The money was rolling in.
I enjoyed it back then.
Yeah, right. And now look what it's become. It's so
It's
like
so Kevin keeps trying to find his
embarrassing.
next lolcow to be on there for everyone to rag on, for him to read the super chats of. And for a little while, it was Ray DeVito and Stevie Lou. And what's happening now is that he doesn't even have someone that he can bring on to help rag on someone.
Right.
Unless Pat Dixon's ex-girlfriend is that person. I don't think it is. I don't know, but she's entertaining in any single way. She laughs at Kevin's jokes a lot. But other than that, so now it's like Chad Zubak comes out and he's the second mic. Like Chad Zubak's not a second mic.
Right.
He was fired from the Alan Cox show as the third mic.
Yeah.
He's not a second mic guy.
And also, you fired a guy that was great on your show, and Bob Levy, for having a phone call with your now second mic.
All of that is fucking nuts. All
right?
of it is crazy. But it comes down to he didn't feel like paying Bob, so it's a lot easier to just cut him. And
I'll never
pay him.
forget. He goes, that was a dumb thing to do before payday, Bob. And I was like...
It's crazy to me that the people who are loyal to Kevin Brennan, the way he treats other humans.
Yeah.
Like if I got in a fight with Andy and I kicked him off the show, I'd still pay Andy whatever I fucking owed him. Like that's just how business works. What the fuck?
But I told Frog, when he quits, I'll pay you. Finally. Until then, keep doing what you're doing.
Hint, hint.
Is it a family cousin wedding?
Is he doing something? What was that about me getting paid?
Nothing at all. But go back to work. Back to work, Simba. Is it a family cousin wedding? One of the great moments in block party history. Scott goes, I'm not going to be able to do that weekend. It's a family cousin wedding. And everybody just ripped them apart.
That's where I'm going to be for Hackamania.
That's what the question was about. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
Do you think cleaning lady Maria wore a hazmat suit? I mean, I think she took a Silkwood shower when she got home after that.
She went in there like the FBI did with E.T.
There was just tubes coming out of the place.
There's extraterrestrial life in there, I think.
John's in there like a shriveled up white piece of shit.
He's got the same finger too.
Luigi, please. I can't wait. Please get on that. I saw producer Chris close up on Lucy's show. He looks like every bowling partner from 70s sitcoms. Thinking unkempt Sam the Butcher from Brady Bunch.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I see him as more of like the old bartender that's just back there polishing a pint glass at all times as the main characters are having a conversation. He's just.
I see him as a ex-surf pro who got hurt, now just opened a board shop nearby.
Oh yeah, I can see that with the hair. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. Just sitting here waxing. That's it. Karl, did you get back end money for Uncle Rico? That's a funny thing that John had mentioned. I don't know if it was this week or last week, but he goes, the fact that these guys aren't kicking me down money.
Yeah.
He goes, that's crazy. I know he wishes he could sue us for that somehow, but
that's not how business works. Could you imagine? So like Under Armour's a newer company.
Right.
They came out after like Adidas and Nike. Mm-hmm. And now they do all the same shit, the shoes, the athletic wear. What if they're just like, you know what? Let's give 20% of our profits to Nike because they really paved the way for us on this one. Yeah. We're just slapping our logo on the same bullshit that's being made in Indonesia. We should probably give Nike some money.
Yeah, or you can make the kind of money that other shows make. It really is revolving around you. You have the advantage, John. You just you don't want to do what's necessary to make it happen. That's the bottom line.
We've literally tried to get John paid.
Yeah.
We literally have Moonhead and the Potato. We're working with John to do a live show in Rochester. Tickets were selling. He was going to make thousands of dollars, and he couldn't handle it.
Yeah. Well, I've offered him $10,000 to fight my skinny producer. He turned that down. I offered to sponsor this Tonight Show reunion. TSN sponsors the Tonight Show.
What's going on with that?
Drew Lane, this is going back a while now, but John was claiming he had a higher IQ than Anthony Cumia, which is the dumb. I mean, of all the dumb things John says, that's up there as one of the dumbest things possible. And so my buddy Drew Lane put up like $2,000 immediately. It was just like, all right, yeah, do an IQ test against Anthony. Here's $2,000. And then I forget who, but somebody else kicked in $1,000 immediately. It was like John's leaving thousands of dollars on the table just to protect his ego.
Yeah. Well, that means you've already lost. No matter what the contest is, you know you can't do it. Not to sound gay like Frosted Hair Tips, but I really appreciate TSN and WATP for giving me some laughs that kept me from being depressed all the time. Thank you, J-Dad. Love you, buddy.
No diddy, buddy.
No diddy. Super sticker, Paula. Thank you, Paula. Zero. Reddit says Mike buys super chats live from multiple accounts to create FOMO, so people gift to feel included. Okay.
Who's Mike? In that
Mike
scenario?
Morse during the show.
Morse.
Yeah.
That's what Reddit's saying? Mike Morse is the mastermind behind buying chats?
I mean, where's he getting the money?
First of all, can I speak for Mike and say, thank God somebody's talking about me? Let me just say that for Mike. I love it. I love it. This is great. Yeah, keep the theories going. So Mike's creating on the spot live fake people, or he's doing the super.
No, that's their answer to how you see the chats come up on YouTube, is that Mike is spending hundreds of dollars an episode to super chat, so it looks like they're super chats, and it makes other people want to super chat.
Oh,
How does
you know
this
what?
not make sense to you guys?
No. That's actually that
Yeah.
is correct. I'm sorry, Shuli, but if the facts come out, I gotta confirm them.
You got to spend money to make money,
That's
stupid.
right. Yeah, I mean that is true.
I'm
He is
not a
doing that.
crook.
People are just like, how come Mike Morse never talks? He's like, well, yeah, he's typing in the super chat all the time.
Yeah, he is
That makes
typing a
sense.
lot, but he's looking up, full moon schedules for Bob, so we know when he's going to try and kill us all. It's important.
That's
stuff.
just what a liar would say.
Exactly. DJ Davies, $10. If my super chats are fake, I need to sue my bank for the email transaction confirmations and the charges reflecting in my account. And another great example, and I've always said this, but they never stop proving it. When they make money, let's say more money than us, everything's real.
Yep.
When we make more than them, well, then by all means, this is entirely fake. So
Yeah, that's
what you're doing.
The problem that John has is that he teeters back and forth between, well, they should be giving me some of this money they're making, all this money that's coming in, and none of the money's real and it's all fake.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I know you think you want to pretend it's fake, but you know it's real because you want a piece of it.
Yeah.
If it was all fake, you wouldn't even say the part where it's like, kick me, I don't know what my beak at some 20%.
Aku, I know how super chats are faked, but because you guys didn't write for Howie or Leno, we have to pay to send in our chats. Haven't figured out the members yet. Okay. All right. We're on to something. J-Dad, a few bucks for John to think about while he's watching right now in his tiny apartment of bad karma and regrets. Fact, Jack. Ham Hands, wife and I watching Rico. She saw the sty. She's a medical professional. She immediately asked, how dirty is this guy? And she was disgusted and left the room.
That's great.
All she sees is sick people. She's grossed out. You don't need a blue can to bring back the empties for the money. Michael. Michael with the nice pull, Mike.
Good point.
Thank you for the 9 months. Dexter and friends, awesome show. Will we be seeing any close-up of Stuttering John genitalia or lack thereof? Great audio. Everyone is at the same level.
Whoa, I've literally never seen that in
Never
a chat
heard it.
ever. Our
Never.
audio's good? Holy shit.
That's
a miracle.
Hey, Jamie, love you. Right back. Or as Mike calls him, Jaime. Alisa Jordana has a crush on Stuttering John. She just doesn't know it yet. The great Gonzo.
Dude,
ladies and
Gonzo,
gentlemen.
you were so fucking fantastic when you called in and asked John. And this is the thing that we're all keying in on right now is John's NPD. Because he asked the question, have you ever had a relationship, family, friend, whatever, it went south and you regretted your actions and why that relationship deteriorated? Is there ever anything that you've done that maybe you have regrets on? Because people have been asking, like, what are your regrets? And it's like not being a star football player in high school. Like, that's
Right.
not a regret, idiot. And so Gonzo asked him that question. And John literally can't come up with a single example. And it comes down to everyone's the asshole but me.
Yeah. Gonzo's always been great. He was great with Eric.
Yep.
He was both the actor and high pitch. Great with Joey Boots. Gonzo has a real skill and patience for special people.
Correct.
And you
And you have
can't
to
teach
treat
that.
John like a whack packer. The other thing that was funny
Yeah.
when Gonzo was on is John was yelling at Gonzo and
Yeah.
it had Alisa laughing. And as soon as John sees a pretty
Oh,
girl's
yeah.
laughing, oh boy, he can't stop himself. Now he's on a roll and he's just going and going and going. And she's giggling. He's laughing at himself. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty good. All right.
So funny. The
incredible.
only thing missing from her laugh is her pointing at him and laughing, and then he would stop immediately.
Then he would understand
know the
why people are
difference,
laughing. Correct. But Gonzo, great job, buddy.
Magellan, why are we throwing cats under the bus? All the stuff he touches and never washes, and then he touches his face. His body is a petri dish. How about when he cleans the camera? He licks whatever's on his finger. He's licking to wet and then smearing it on. I've never seen somebody put something wet on a camera and make it dirtier. You know what I mean? Like
Cats are actually pretty clean animals when it comes down to it. Much cleaner than dogs. It's a good point.
Yeah. Thank you, Magellan. Hey, Muffin Top Melendez gifting one. Thank you, my friend.
We're doing
Chris
it.
Hall.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
We're doing
We're
it.
doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah. Gifted
doing
5. Yes. Gifted 5. Chris Hall. Thank you, Chris. Corn Diff. Hit like, baby. Great job last week, Corn Diff. Thanks for coming on PvP.
I do have to give Kevin Brennan credit because he was sniping us during the show last week when Corn Diff was on. And Corn Diff's kind of got like a southern drawl or Midwestern accent. I don't know.
Right.
And Kevin goes, "What's up with his voice? Didn't he used to sound like a corn?" That's pretty funny. It's a pretty good joke.
And then his lips split in half.
Yeah. And then that happened. It's even funnier.
Jay Wolfenstein Steinberg. Karl, I haven't heard you play, but I vote you're the better guitarist. You own a tuner, right? Wait, never mind. That actually doesn't matter.
Yes. If you want to see my guitar playing, we'll be at Beer Park here in Rochester tomorrow night, Saturday, May 4th, 7 to 10. It's an outdoor venue. It's a lot of fun. Come down and hang out. They have like 50-something beers on tap.
Yeah.
You know the screen name? A mandolin nappy?
A mandolin nappy, who used to be Picture Exactly, and I kept pronouncing it correctly, so he changed it.
Yeah.
Great panel today, boys. Hey, Andy, thanks for not wearing that tank top.
The gifted one or the Florida one? What?
Oh, that's right. That Florida one really threw people off.
Whatever. It's hot in Florida. What?
It is.
What am I supposed to do?
It's fine.
Uh,
It's hot.
I wanted to bring this up. So the Kate Meanie, Chad Zumach whole thing, right? I think you're leaning into the work. This is a work thing that they're doing.
Oh, 100%. Because, and let me just skip this out real quick, and then I want to hear your take on it. But I put out a video just yesterday, I think, where I was on with Melton, and we explained that when Chad Zumach is talking about something interesting that's going on, it's a lie. Like, Chad can't help himself. He doesn't know any other mode. That's just who he is. And Chad was even tweeting at me. He's just like, "Oh, I'm sure Karl's being real fair." It's like, why would I be fair? You've done nothing for me to give you the benefit of the doubt ever.
This is the guy that's live streaming on Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day because he's got nothing going on.
Nothing going on. So we need something going on. And I know for a fact that behind the scenes, he's reached out to Rocco and said, "Hey, man, wouldn't it be great if we came up with a grift or a bit or something?" So, you know, he's always trying to find an angle to be interesting and have people talk about him. And so is Kate Meanie, also needs all the attention in the world. So it makes nothing but sense that those two got together to collab on this $20,000 for sex and nudes and a sex tape. And it's so convoluted. Like, just pick one thing and do that. Why is there so much?
Yeah, there is a lot going. No, but there is a lot going on. But my question is, one thing in particular where Chad was talking about Kate sharing her conversations with John with Chad.
Okay.
And the fact that she said John said that he's going to fly her out to Florida and they're going to cuddle together. Mm-hmm. What's your take on that? Is that a work, you think?
Thanks for asking, because when Chad says that, I've talked to Kate and she said that John wanted to cuddle her. My initial thought is like, well, Chad could be making this up. He lies about everything. But John's reaction to that.
That's what I want to ask.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe it was lost in translation. That's not what I meant. I wouldn't say something like that. I'm not even attracted to her. It's just like humming. You're like, well, there's something to this, I think.
So now, me being a father of 2 girls, I'm putting myself in a position where a 59-year-old, and I don't care that my daughter's over 18. I don't care that she's over 20. She's 24. She's her age. and an almost 60-year-old man is saying, I'm going to fly you out and cuddle with you.
Yeah.
I would fucking lose my mind. I'd be in
you know what
jail.
John's defense was?
What?
Kate's father's dead, so it's okay.
Oh,
I
well,
swear to
you
God,
know.
someone super chatted him and said, like, John, wouldn't you be creeped out if a 59-year-old guy had a relationship with your daughter the way that you have with Kate?
Yeah.
And he goes, but that's couldn't possibly happen because her dad's dead.
Yeah. If I was dead, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Are you insane?
Unbelievable.
And you know he's just trying to like put that out there as something that's sort of harmless.
Yes.
What that a sober John would say, but what happens when he's 11 beers deep and,
Great point.
and she's over there? What does cuddling turn into? We've already had that one woman say that he got so hammered that he started coming on to her, in a
Shit in the
date
sheets.
rapey way.
Shit
Yeah.
in the sheets.
Yeah.
Shit in the sheets.
So you're not fooling anyone, John.
And then back to, I guess, Kate sending him photos of her. While I agree with you that Kate is starving for attention, I don't think she's dumb enough to send John actual photos of herself topless. Do you think those are real?
You wouldn't think so, but Kate is a special kind of dumb. Kate is a needy attention whore dumb person. I mean, the fact that she spends hours on the phone with Chad Zumock and Stuttering John Melendez, what else do I need to tell you? If the only thing you knew about Kate Meanie is that she talks on the phone with Chad Zumock and Stuttering John for hours at a time, you'd go, oh, this person's broken.
Yeah, that's weird. That is
And
weird.
I would say I'm not sharing anything private or personal with her. That's for sure. Based on who she's talking to.
And people like to call out Kate for being like a cokehead and a whore. Those are her good traits. These are the reasons why I want to hang out with Kate. And who's upset about that? The thing is that she's like friends with Chad Zumock for real. I'm like, okay, well now this is getting weird.
Yeah, hours and hours. when any interaction I've heard with somebody picking up on John and having a conversation with him, from the minute you pick up, it's you trying to get out of that situation as fast as possible.
Literally my first conversation with him. I'm like, so John, I got to get running, but anyway.
Right, yeah. I'm in line at the supermarket. I got to go, but what's up?
Yeah, there's nothing worse where somebody calls you that doesn't have shit going on and you're always in the middle of something and they're just like, so, what are you eating? It's like, listen, dude, I don't have time right now. I got to go. Figure something out. Get a hobby. I don't know what to tell you.
I'll never forget the phone call I got from John. I'm sitting in a restaurant and I've got a million things to do. It's the afternoon. And he calls me and he's always in a panic. This is back then when he would call me. There's someone who's doxing me in your Discord. I don't spend a ton of time in my Discord. I love the people in there and I should spend more time in there. But I don't spend a lot of time in there. I'm like, oh, okay, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, someone put I don't know if it was his address or his phone number or something. I'm like, okay, did you see it yourself? Can you send me no, people are telling me, blah, blah, blah. I go, all right, John, I'll look into it. I'll talk to my mods or something like that. Like, he was in a panic, but then, like, you would think, communicate that and then move on. That could have been a text message also, but he wanted to keep talking after that. I'm like, all right, well, John, I'm in the middle. I'm eating right now. Can I let you go?
Hold on. Jay Wolfenstein Steinberg. Place fake super chat text here. No, you're supposed to send
fucked
that
up.
to Frog.
Frog, you
God
fucked
damn
up,
it.
man. Now they're gonna find out.
Karl's not on OnlyFans. Okay, Caitlin Hatley's #1 fan. Hudson.
I think I did start an OnlyFans. It was a creep off consequence. One of the first ones. I started OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it in years. It's probably still there.
What do we got? Kyle, classic example of poor liberals wanting high tax that they don't pay while needlessly spending. John, with no money, pays $300 to clean the easiest area to tidy up. A square ground floor room. Yeah.
John hasn't filed his taxes yet. That came out.
Yeah,
Somebody asked him. He's like, oh, I haven't filed my taxes yet. And, somebody pointed out to him, I don't want to get political, but someone pointed out to him like, John, you're supposed to want to pay taxes. That's like kind of what liberals do. Like, hey, let's give money to the government. They'll figure it out. And
right.
John goes, nope. We just want to tax the rich. All right, John.
Wait,
you
he
say
is the
so.
rich.
Right. According to him, yeah.
It depends on when it's convenient for him.
Ayo, the tape story again, Shuli. We heard you. When he said yesterday that he wasn't getting auditions because his manager said there was a SAG strike, I nearly had an aneurysm. I laughed so much. That's a great one from this week.
When I played that clip, Vinny Paulino sitting right where Andy was, he laughed so hard he slammed down on the table and knocked out our audio for 3 seconds. He was like, "Whoa!" That's the funniest fucking thing.
And my favorite part of that moment was much later on into that, he goes, "You know what? I'm going to look into this." Now you're going to look into it.
Yeah, then he Googles it in real time and he goes, I don't know why he said that. I got to look into it more.
Hey guys, I'll check. I'll go more in depth after I'm off the air.
Fucking idiot.
Stuttering John is slowly turning into Pizza the Hut. Off topic, Karl, why do you hate Scott the Engineer? Danny Brophy wants to know.
Scott the Engineer is a grifter. He's always been a lazy loser who expects things.
Go ahead.
And the stories I've heard about Scott the Engineer, because when his wife had cancer, and that's an awful thing, Scott used that opportunity to try to grift from his friends, but also listeners of the Stern Show and anyone who was in earshot of him. He acted like he didn't have health insurance. He did. He was completely covered with health insurance, but he needed more and more money. And someday we'll get into it. Someday we'll get all the facts out.
Yeah,
you might know some stuff, Shuli.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know if he was completely covered. I don't know. Sirius was doing some weird shit too with some benefits. I know that, but I could be wrong as well. I don't know what his deal was. I know we were covered, but then again, my wife didn't have cancer, so I don't know how far that goes.
Health insurance only covers you if you're healthy. And then
That's
as soon
true.
as you get sick, they just go, you no longer are insured.
They
That's how
flip
that
over
works.
the sign. They go, "We sell TVs now. Sorry."
You're right.
Go fuck yourself. We'll see you later.
I just hate him because he was fucking boring.
Oh, yeah.
He was never interesting.
I mean, I don't hate him, but he's one of
I
those
don't hate
dudes
him.
that just couldn't get out of his own way. And one of my favorite memories is it was some sort of technical issue. Show's live. Scott's in the Scott room. And there was this guy, Evan, who was an engineer with Sirius, and he was back there helping out. And something happened. We lost something. Something went down. And you see Evan running out of the room, into the room. And Scott, typical Scott, he goes, "Slow down, Evan. Slow down." The only one not running around worrying about
Not
this.
only not helping, but actually trying to hinder
Right,
the process.
Fix it slower.
Stuttering John already has the same body of E.T. and the same love of Coors. That is true. What do you think Quad's angle is working with Stuttering John? John's gimpy Halloween hymn. Great question. It seems like every month there's somebody new that we're asking that question. What's their end game? What do you think?
Recognition. So Stuttering John's has more recognition than Quad. He's trying to.
If you just looked at the surface level, you'd say, okay, because of the relationship, John went on BYB recently, and they got some good views for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's 4,000 views or something like that. So for BYB, that's huge numbers. So I could see why Derek would put up with dealing with John in order to get him on the show from time to time and get people interest in that and watching that. But it's got to be torturous because I watched Derek sit there and you could tell that he wants to push back. And he's like, "No, you're right, John. No, you're right." It's just like this thing where it's just like, why are you putting yourself through this for hours a day? It's crazy.
Well, what's interesting is he's going down the same road that Stevie Lou went down, right?
Correct.
And if you remember when Stevie Lou brought John on BYB, I've done their show. They're known for, the unexpected. Granny, who I love, he just comes out and starts firing shit at you.
You like Granny? What's funny?
I
about
like
that
Granny.
guy?
He makes me laugh. I think
Does he?
I dig him. I dig Granny. I'm about Granny.
Someone's afraid of Granny over here. Okay.
Me? No, he came at me.
No, he's hilarious. A great comic.
Yeah, he came at me when I came on the show, and I went back at him, and I like that about him. I think
it's a
funny.
clip that we've all seen, Shuli. No one's ever seen it.
But that being said, if you remember, Stevie Lou brought John on it, and everybody was trying to fuck with him, and Stevie Lou was being the dad. And he's going, "Everybody stop. And he's kicking this one out, and he's putting this one back in. And now Quadfather, he's kicking people out. When John's on, he doesn't want to upset John. It's not BYB that everyone knows across the world what they're known for. The brand, BYB,
Right.
Attack Comedy. That's right. And now they're selling out to this John to impress him. I'm no longer a fan. I am out of the BYB business.
Good
I'm
for you.
out.
No,
Yeah.
so what is your take on it though? What do you think's Derek's end game here?
I think he's caught up like Stevie did. I think Stevie had a plan going into it. And then it's like it's kind of like Stockholm syndrome. Like they feel they're like one with the attacker now. You know what I mean?
Well,
They're
look, all of us are in this because we want eyeballs on us, right?
Correct.
Like anyone who's doing a podcast, you have to admit you're looking for as big an audience as possible. That's what
I'll probably be on Stuttering John's show next
right.
week.
That's what I mean. That's a W. So you go on John's show, and listen, John used to get a couple hundred viewers on his show. I think he admitted this recently. This was fascinating because he likes to say he doesn't give any credit to me and Shuli for building up his show. But he said back when he was doing a political show, he made way less money, and it wasn't as interesting for people, and he didn't have as many eyeballs. So now there's this Dabbleverse, and everyone's paying attention, and they're watching John. They want to see what he's doing and what he's up to, and they want to pull their own clips and make their own videos from it.
It's an idea that on paper looks good, right? Let's ride the coattails of Stuttering John and grow our show. But I'm sure on paper the idea of letting people attack me for $2 at a time to make money look good on paper. But look what it's doing to the guy in reality, right? There's the payoff isn't there, is what I'm saying. You got to pull the cord at some point because
correct. It's like you're not doing it on your own terms. So you want to get in front of people and eyeballs, and that's great. And everyone knows who Quadfather is now, and he's in the you can see it when John's scrolling through the subreddits, and you see it where there's a video and it features Quadfather. He's like, oh, there's me.
Yeah,
and he's so excited about that. He's like, people are talking about me. I'm part of this now. I'm in the mix. I'm being talked about on DabblePoint right now.
Yeah.
Quad's sitting at home going, holy shit, this is great. But to what expense? So if now
spending time with John,
that's what I mean. But but it's twofold. It's one, you got to kiss John's ass every second that you're on his show, which I have to imagine is pretty tedious. But then also, how can anyone take you seriously anymore? Like Stevie Lou, I don't take Stevie Lou seriously. He kisses KB's ass nonstop. He kissed John's ass nonstop. It's like, be your own person. What are you doing?
Right.
It's fucking weird.
You think Stevie Lou lost a lot of credibility in the Dabbleverse when he hooked up with John? You think that was the beginning of the end?
You lose some credibility when you start kissing John's ass on shows. That's all I'll say to Quadfather. I have no problem with the guy at all, but it's a bizarre way to go about your business.
Yeah. Chris Abels, Mike Morse asked me to send this. Hey, Andy, Karl, Shuli, Don, and Frog. Thank you.
What's up, Chris?
Thanks, Mike.
I was on Replayables this week.
I
had a good time. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
This past Wednesday, we were tearing it up.
Mastermind Mike, there's a turn. Yeah, there's a work I didn't
That'd
see
be funny,
coming.
yeah.
We'll start working on that. Rumple Trenchcoat, what number should I use to fax my super chats in?
It's on the website.
Shout out to all our faxers out there at TSN. Michael P. I'm on a super chat strike until Collective Soul and Ugly Kid Joe get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Talk to you never. Go Bills.
Thank you, Michael P., for reminding me. That's another thing that John's been talking about this week.
Yeah.
Collective Soul should definitely be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, let me preface what I'm about to say with this. Who fucking cares about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It's ridiculous at this point. The people that they induct into it, so it's all nonsense. But his reasoning is the Go-Go's are in it. So how could Collective Soul not be in it? It's like, that's a real head scratcher right there, isn't it?
What the
The fuck's he talking about?
I mean, put him in. Tone Loc is in. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well say that. Collective Soul is a mediocre, run-of-the-mill 90s band that had, I think, 3 hits.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd rather watch Tookie sing those songs than whoever the fuck the singer is from Collective Soul. I don't know his name. I couldn't care less.
Listen,
The Go-Go's made a fucking dent in rock and roll history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their solo careers were launched after that.
Yeah.
The guitarist is in 28 movies. You didn't even realize she had a fucking career.
No, I agree. And, it just goes to show that he's a fucking idiot.
I thought that's how you were going to have that sentence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
stupid.
Hey, Shuli,
What, huh?
can I get y'all's opinion on something?
Yes, you may, Flo.
Today's thumbnail.
Yeah, I like it. Oh, can I make a suggestion?
hilarious.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Instead of his face, because that's the face when he saw Bob come on, right?
That's the exact moment.
Can we? I know it won't be historically accurate, but can we have the eye one as his picture? So you got one guy
Yeah,
with a
'cause they
lip,
get the
and the other
lip
guy
and
with
the
an
eye.
eye. Yeah,
Give me a
exactly.
minute.
It's like
Karl,
Pinky
why?
and the Brain, but it's lip and eye. That's their new show together. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. What do we got?
Antonio A. This guy hates Frog, so I like him. Karl, why don't you get in on Rico? F you, Frog. Why don't you get in on Rico?
Yeah, why aren't you giving me a kickback, Shuli?
I was just gonna say.
I think you owe me some of that Rico, that sweet, sweet Rico money.
Envelopes on its way, boss. It might be a little light this month, but it's coming.
That's the other thing that John always says. He goes, Shuli stole the idea of making fun of me from Karl. Karl stole it from Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony stole it from Howard Stern.
Right.
I'm very curious about how Howard Stern originated every idea that's ever happened in broadcasting and entertainment. It seems weird to me because Sam Roberts would come in with clips of another morning show. They would listen to them and then react in real time to what they were doing. Did Howard ever do that? I don't remember him ever doing that.
No.
How did they steal it from Howard? They definitely did not.
He
That's
did
like
start-
going back to the old, like, everyone's ripping me off. Ooh, Robin, everyone's ripping me off. Robin.
Yeah,
So it's like when he went into Detroit and he was saying that the Drew and Mike show was just a Howard Stern ripoff. And meanwhile, they're talking about the Detroit Red Wings run in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
All
Right.
morning. It's like, what are you talking about?
Anybody that's not doing news and weather and throw into a Whitney Houston song
Yeah.
on the drive in the morning is ripping Howard off.
Yeah. What are they doing? Talking between commercial breaks? Like, yes. Talk show.
Tookie's grandma, thank you for being a member for 11 months. A little late. Loss for anyone except the narcissist is a win for them. He doesn't have to gain anything. Laughing at the loss is enough.
Yes.
That-
That is
yeah,
definitely a trait of a narcissist saying this person leaving TSN is a win for me.
Right.
Sure.
Karl thinking, yeah, exactly. There you go. Now we're talking.
Love it.
Now we got some action. Karl thinking Chad Zumach and Kate Meanie is a work is another example of Karl giving dummies too much credit. Way too many embarrassing truths coming out. Plus, nobody is benefiting. It's not a work.
I wouldn't say nobody is benefiting. Chad had more viewers on his show this week than he's had since the Cumia Country incident. I think, and he's getting more attention from Brennan. And Chad's world is a very small world.
Mm-hmm.
In Chad's world, he said this many times. MLC is the biggest podcast on the internet. Literally, he's just like, that's where everyone's watching MLC. And John thinks this too. John goes, like, I just watch MLC and I get all my news from that. So there's people who think that Kevin Brennan is the most important podcaster it's not even close
You
to
can see
true.
the numbers.
Yeah,
Who's
it's
watching?
ridiculous.
No.
But to say that Chad isn't benefiting from it, correct, but not
Yeah.
in Chad's mind. In Chad's mind, this is killing it.
Well, I mean, listen, I saw one quote, Brennan's the Joe Rogan of 1,000 people.
Right.
So, anything's
right.
possible.
But and to say that like these embarrassing truths are coming out, like Chad's not in a porn movie. There's no sex tape with Chad. That's a lie. So, and even if it wasn't, it's not an embarrassing thing because everyone's just like, oh, whoever this guy is, he's got some good moves and a big dick and the chick's hot. You're like, okay, it's definitely not Chad. And then the other one is that Kate Meanie has nudes out, but Kate Meanie used to show her tits on Compound Media. That's nothing new. And then the other one is that Kate Meanie had a threesome with a guy and they split $10,000 each. But as soon as they come out and reveal that that was all a work, it doesn't do anything to her reputation. Like, so I don't know. And I don't think that Kate Meanie has so much self-esteem that she's like, I don't even want people thinking that about me. She doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, right.
Hey, if you're showing your tits on Compound, just say the N-word like everybody else. Keep your tits in,
Whoa. Shuli, whose side are you on?
Frankie, thank you for the 50, my man. Appreciate it.
Nice. I like the people who are just like, I don't have anything to say, but here's some money.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Keep in mind, Kate dabbles in white lines. I'm sure she is that dumb enough to send nudes when she's high. I mean, the fact that you'd send it to somebody as creepy as John, as old as John, and it's just, and of course, right away he has
Kate
to
Meanie's
go.
behavior makes you think that she's too smart for that. Like, point to one thing that she does. This is getting incredible now. Him and Kevin. Put that back up. There's a lot of jokes in there. This has all been worked on as we've been doing this, by the way. This is fantastic.
I love it. That's great. Dudes, I saw Kate on Madison Ave in Midtown the other day. I commented on her first tweet to confirm it was her, and she did. Then I said, oh, cool. And she asked me if she looked good. Never responded. Thirsty girl.
Weird. I mean, who knows if that's true, but
weird interaction.
no shit.
James Quinn, Quad is sitting at home, Karl, for shame. Yeah, you know. Karl loves attacking.
I went for a walk today. It was really nice out. It's a nice day in beautiful Western New York, so I went for a nice long walk. It's great.
Heard you ran into a speed bump. Didn't slow you down at all. You just
nope,
went
not at all. Skipped right over.
I walked up to the second floor of my house.
Wow.
Used the bathroom up there.
You don't have an elevator in your house?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Took it 2 steps at a time.
Right before we went live, he goes, hold on, my foot itches. And he just took his shoe out and scratched it. Canadian member for 5 months. Stuttering John and KB should just 69 on the train tracks for 80s dangerous teen love angst. Is there a chance we could hear, looks like he turned on me? Woo, woo.
Yep, sounds like he turned on me.
Nice.
Bestest friend of Lisa Boswell. Suck it, Karl. Poopy.
Uncle Poopy is a funny super chatter.
Hey, Grant's brother, you better put some respect on Granny's name when you speak it. He's nursing broken ribs, for fuck's sake.
Speaking of my brother Grant, we're doing Hackamania, hackamania.com.
Yes.
Promo code WATP for 20% off.
Must be nice.
We'll be in Vegas May 31st through June 2nd, doing live podcasting, doing live stand-up. And they're doing a Kill Tony style open mic.
Okay.
Where people come up, they sign up. You have to sign up on the website, hackamania.com. Sign up. You get 2 minutes, not one, 2 minutes to do stand-up in front of professionals and Earl Skakel. And they will then critique your stand-up. My brother's already signed up for it. And I am so excited to watch this. I can't wait. I can't wait for 2 minutes of my brother's stand-up. It's going to be
my God.
His wife heckling him the whole time.
Oh, me and her will be sitting there yelling at him.
Okay. Well, there you go, Uncle Jack. There's your answer. Thank you for 14 months, my friend. Appreciate it. O's O-Face. Andrea Brower currently ghost mods for Stuttering John. We have confirmation.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Insert fake gratuitous message here. You send that one to Frog first, guys. God damn it. Mike, I know you're back there. Get it together. Mike Morse, the Unabomber. Cancer. The silent but evil ones are always the most dangerous. You're right, Jad. The professor. He's right.
Did you see the new nickname for John that is so perfect?
No, what is it?
Det Midler.
Oh, that is a good one.
There's a Photoshop that's in Dabbleverse. I'm going to show it on WATP tomorrow.
I
it's
love
Det Midler's all over hits, and it's Photoshop John's face on Bette Midler.
That's beautiful.
It's very fun.
Beautiful. There's so many. We were talking about. There's so many talented, creative people out there. Like I can't wait for DabbleCon. I want to have a whole dance party night where we just play all these amazing songs from DJ Dabbles and Who Can Forget This and all these
I was just
amazing
going to say,
creators.
we've been getting an influx of parody songs lately.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic. Mr. Magenta and Steven Reynolds and a bunch of people have been sending in these parody songs. They're so funny. We got to collect all this shit and just have a dance party at Dabble.
Yeah.
Have a playlist.
I think like a in memoriam type of segment during the Dabbies where it's just all the AI photos that people have made since his return. People like the Chuckster and Louise Greenberg.
Great stuff.
Yeah. Like so many talented people out there. It's so cool that
Who's
they're
the guy
able
who does all the Game of Thrones AI stuff too, and Dabbler's Anonymous. Anyway, it's all comic booky and very funny.
I think that's Chuckster.
Is that Chuckster as well?
I believe so, yeah. But, yeah, man, you guys are amazing. We can't thank you enough for the support. Anything else, gentlemen, before we get out of here that you wanted to bring up?
Yes.
Go ahead.
You'll be shocked to hear I want to give a plug.
Nice.
So tomorrow on WATP, Andy's going to be on the show with us, and we are covering. So we covered Howard with Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And somebody brought up, I think it was on Uncle Rico, that Howard and Joe Biden weren't in the studio together. But I saw the video and they definitely were.
Figure out a way to make anything
They-
reality.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I know when I was still working from home remotely that they were making.
No, there's a shot where you see both of them. It's not like panning back and forth. Anyway, I could be wrong. If they went out of their way to make it look like that's even more embarrassing. Because it definitely looked like they were talking to each other face to face.
I don't know yet for sure. I'm working on
Okay.
getting confirmation.
The reason why I bring that up is because tomorrow on WATP, we're going to be covering, the show Smartless.
Yes,
Very popular show.
with Jason Bateman and Will Arnett
Yes. And
and the other guy.
Sean Hayes.
Yeah,
Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes. There you go.
Those three guys interviewed not just Biden, but also Clinton and Obama.
Yeah.
So it's these three clowns doing a show interviewing two ex-presidents, one current
Ball
semi-dead
washing.
president.
Do they do
Yeah.
the thing where they have the person say something and they try to guess who it is, and Obama goes, "Drone strike, go, drone strike, green light." Fuck.
I don't
you
think it's
do
going to be that fun. So
Yeah.
we'll be reviewing that at WATP tomorrow. If you go to our Patreon or our YouTube page, you sign up, become a member, you get the link. You can watch the shows live. We start at 2:00 on Saturday afternoons. But either way, you can listen to it. We always put out the episode Sunday morning, and just subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can hear the entire episode with Andy talking about Smartless. And then, Andy, I know you've got some things going on.
Yeah, I got two things I'd love to talk about. Allapologiespodcast.com. We just did an episode about Elon Musk, which I'm shocked that, well, I'm not shocked. It seems to be all the posts that I'm putting on Instagram, Facebook, don't seem to be performing very well under the hashtag Elon Musk.
What?
So,
Try X. I'm sure they'll do well there.
please go find that. I thought it was a great episode. And that's our 52nd episode. We've been
Jesus,
about
you guys are
1
crushing
year
it.
now.
Nice.
And also, Kaylee, Once Over with Kaylee, Lucy Tightbox, and I just did our second episode of Thursday Matinee on Twitch, but I'm taking the live streams and putting them on the Thursday Matinee Patreon account. So you can go watch it for free after the fact. So
Okay.
please, we do that 7:30 on Thursdays for the next couple of weeks, and then you can watch it for free on Patreon.
Andy's All Apologies podcast, him and his brother break down different celebrity apologies, and there's never a shortage of these these fucking idiots having to do a fake apologize. Like when they read these statements that they obviously, it's not even in words they ever use.
Yeah.
Obviously, a PR professional put this together for them.
Right.
It's hilarious. I'm going to go on this Sunday night, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. How could I forget?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest news yet. We're going to have Karl on as a guest. We don't normally do guests, but I want to start doing guests, and Karl is going to be our first guest, of course.
Nice.
And we're going to talk about the royal family.
Oh boy.
I
Something
like
I don't
it,
know.
Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein is probably going to come up.
I know about
a
that.
lot.
I know about that. Does he ever apologize though? I don't think he does.
It's just an excuse to talk about it.
Good.
Well, listen, man, if you ever want to piss off your fan base, I'm available. So I'd love to come on.
I would love to piss them
So
off.
feel free to ask. All right.
Thank you.
Not Mike Morse says, buy haha history. It's great. Really. All right. I'm not buying that. Shalom cabeza de huevo. Egghead, you son of a bitch, huh? I speak
he
your
got
language.
you good there.
Oh my God. Emoji of the year. Frog finger, putting it out there. Okay. I mean, you win. If it's flipping off the frog, I'm all about it. Anything else, gentlemen? We good?
I mean, it's been a fantastic week.
I feel like
again.
I'm forgetting something, but
I know.
we'll-
I feel like there's a few things that happened this
But you're
week.
saving all the good shit for Rico. So that's what
Yeah.
you're forgetting.
No,
Everybody
we're
tune
gonna watch
into
it.
that.
We're gonna watch it. It's gonna come
gonna
to us
watch
in
it.
real
Yeah,
time.
it's gonna be
I can't
great when
wait.
you guys do the package tonight. That was another thing that John was mad about. You guys calling it a package. This is what news organizations call it. They think they're a news. It's a joke. But when you guys do the package with Alisa Jordana, there's a moment in there. I'll be covering it tomorrow on WATP. Hopefully you guys will do it tonight, where Alisa asked John about who he's been dating lately. Yeah. And John immediately looks to the ceiling. Oh yeah, no, I have a girlfriend. Her name is Tile.
She lives upstairs.
Yeah,
that's why I'm looking up there.
She's in the Peace Corps right now, but she'll be coming back in a few months.
Her name is Drop Ceiling, and she's really hot. Whenever he's lying, and I've discovered this with Crystalia, we were pointing this out.
Oh, I watched that episode you
there's
did.
There's a lie tell.
Same thing, yeah.
So they start going, oh, yeah, I don't even like teenage girls. I don't even think they're sexy. It's weird. I don't know why people say that.
Great. They should just have John should get a camera put up on his ceiling. So every time he looks up, he just switches to that camera. And we just get to see the top view.
Can you believe she's asking me about my girlfriend?
All right, everybody. Go support everyone. Be good. We'll see you later tonight on Rico. And thank you, everybody. Hit like on your way out and subscribe and all that stuff. Bye, everyone.